Well, I was raised in Cleveland, but shortly thereafter came to Los Angeles. And one of my first places of employ was Bendix Computer. And I was a contract administrator there, but I got a handle on what computers could do and what applications might be available. And that was kind of the start of my semi-technical background. My wife and I, my late wife and I, took an interest in different things, but we couldn't find exactly what we were looking for, something that definitively affected the lives of warfighters. And it was suggested that I visit Brooke Army Medical Center, and they were building a new Fisher House there. And we decided to contribute a lead gift to the Fisher House that was being built there, and at the same time came in contact with a large number of burn patients at Brooke Army Medical Center. There was a sense of great sadness when you'd go into the burn ward and you'd see these young men and women with their mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters in a room that was like 90 degrees. And there was little hope for some of them, a lot of hope for others, but at that point in time I came home and my wife and I commiserated on how devastating that was to our young war fighters. Shortly thereafter, I had met, while I was down to Brooke Army Medical Center, the leadership of Brooke, and we were watching Lou Dobbs' show. At that time it was on CNN, and he had a young Lance Corporal who had truly devastating injuries to his face. His name was Aaron Menken, and Lou Dobbs asked him at the end of the program, "What's next for you?" And he said, "They got to fix the beautiful part." My wife and I were very taken by that comment. And I, at the same time, was a member of the board of UCLA Hospital. And I went to the hospital and said, "Can we share in serving these young men and women with our advanced reconstruction, plastic surgery, and multi-talented people?" Went back down to Brooke Army Medical Center. They said, "We'll let you take a patient." It happened to be Lance Corporal Aaron Menken, and that was the beginning. There was a second patient and a third patient, and now, several years later, there are hundreds of patients who we were able to kind of match their resiliency with these wonderful, talented doctors, nurses, staff at UCLA, who really undertook with a labor of love to care for these young men and women and give them their advanced techniques, help them fix their hands from looking like this to looking like this, restored their faces. And one of the really interesting parts is we brought their families with them. And we realized early on that caring for the families was almost as important as caring for the patients, sometimes more important. They all shared in the experience. We had kids, wives, brothers, sisters, all with them. And it was a truly touching and amazing experience seeing how they would change as their faces and their arms and legs would change and get better. So we looked for families to be buddy families to each of these patients. So they were often here for weeks for their surgery and recovery. We had to make sure they had people who could take care of them, who could be friends to them, and it turned out to be an absolutely amazing thing how our citizens here reacted to it. There's hundreds of buddy families now who love having these warfighters come back to them, stay with their family on the weekends, go places, Disneyland, the beach, but just be friends. Truly was a great experience for us. My dad was in the USO, and he traveled during World War II with Betty Hutton as their band leader. He loved the military, and he always said to me how just important and meaningful it was to him. And I just wanted the opportunity to do something. It was something hand to hand, heart to heart, and this program is as close to that as you can get.